Guess old habits die hard. I'm over here at the where they're going to put in a kind of a farmer's market thing. I'm taking a look at some of the construction that they're doing here. They're doing the masonry, which I never really studied the masonry that much. I did the soils. Florida soils are nothing, essentially sand, so I see where they're using a composite of crushed shell and lime, and that'll be hard as a rock when it hardens up. So they've got their those seams there, those joint lines, kind of give they call them expansion cracks, and what that enables gives the building a little bit of room to kind of settle without breaking down the whole thing. They got, it looks like number 6 rebar going straight up and down through the wall, and I can see they've got a grout pump here, so they're backfilling this wall with grout. And the masonry work actually looks pretty freaking good, actually, from where I'm standing. Pretty good. They poured some good curb in the front. The curb is probably all of 8 inches thick and embedded into the ground, which looks really good. But yeah, that masonry work they're doing is really pretty decent from where I'm standing. Like you can see the natural soils here. This is under compaction. They definitely did the building pad. You can see where they cut the asphalt. So all this was under compaction before. And this is actually kind of silty sand to me. And it's got the shell in it, so that gives it the extra strength that the sand just doesn't have in Florida. We got sanitation sewer line capped off, which is kind of a risk to make sure the height is exactly right on that. Because when they come back and repave the parking lot, it is really, really hard to get that dead on right, and sometimes you'll end up with a pooling around the top of your manhole covers. It's kind of a tough thing to do. But we got, they've got laser systems and everything nowadays that makes that a lot easier than doing it by hand. And these guys up here setting in the block work there at the top, joining that adjacent building. And the block work, like I said, yeah, it looks really, really, really good. I've seen a lot worse, that's for sure. A lot worse. You can see your rebar cage up here. That's tied off. So this building right here is kind of well fortified against a hurricane. It might actually be able to withstand some winds, but a lot of these things around here are not built well enough, and that just a stiff wind would blow them over. And the shameful part of it is most of the time that's housing, but this over here is built. Looks like they've got. I'd love to get on the inside of it, but I'm not permitted for it, nor do I have the right shoe or hard hat or anything right now anyway, so I can't do it. I don't have the plans. I'd love to take a look at the plans. But yeah, they've got their rebar already tied off there at the top, you can see. Let's see if I can get the angle right. Those cages over there. I'm curious as to why the engineer elected not to use steel beams on that. But once you fill it full of grout, It's fucking strong. Hello. Hola. So, yeah, I mean, this is the curb, actually. I mean, this has got to be their back loading dock in here. But you can see, just if you look here, the finisher, I mean, they did a really fine job on that. You know, all that's going to be buried. And finisher, that looks nice. Like I say, I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot of sites where they don't keep it clean. These guys have got everything real clean and organized. I'm very impressed. So, you know, I guess just come back and look at, you know, what's in the community. I definitely miss inspections, but the hours are such a bitch. I mean, sometimes you got to get up at, especially in Florida, you get up at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning because it's just too hot to pour any concrete. Concrete's got to be at a certain temperature, of course. So you're doing nighttime pours, and then in summertime it's raining all the time. In the wintertime it's nice. In the wintertime it's wonderful. Soil work in the wintertime is wonderful, but you know, the rest of it can be kind of a bitch. And then you're always, you know, filthy and dirty and stuff. It is an adventure, but while it kind of suits me on one hand, on the other hand, I kind of prefer. It is intellectual, yeah. I mean, it is a different challenge every day, and that's enjoyable. But I kind of like things that, yeah, analytics. Like I really enjoy the insurance business, and I look forward to getting my Series 6 and Series 7. You know, it's like, gosh, I know that I failed in the life insurance business because nobody has any money out here. It's a very, very rough economy. And the thing, property and casualty is pretty much mandated. I mean, to drive a car, you have to have insurance. You have to have renter's insurance. You have to have, you know, all these other things that are pretty much government mandated. And people definitely need good advice. They know they need to be talking to somebody that knows what they're talking about. And there's a lot to learn, so I always took a lot of pride in that. I always really enjoyed that, so I'll get back into doing that. All right, well, I gotta head on and keep on getting on. Catch you later.